Okay, so today we have Genestealer Cult / Tyranids facing off against Chaos. And like many out there, I ran out, got some Genestealers, put them together, but have not had a chance to put any paint on them. So this army, unfortunately, is pretty gray, as you can see there, mixed in with some Tyranids. But anyways, this formation, it's going to be the Decurion style. I think it's the Insurrection detachment, so it's a mix of command and auxiliary from the Genestealer Cult formations. So what I have is the Brood Cycle, as well as an auxiliary, which is going to be actually just the small unit of Aberrants. It's the Cult Mutants. And then I have a command, which is going to be the First Curse. So we have the Patriarch there with 20 Genestealers. And of course he's got the 2 familiars and he's become mastery level 2. As far as the Tyranids portion of the list, it's just 2 units of warriors and then 2 Tyranid Hive Tyrants with wings. And it'll be interesting to see how this plays out. Immediately, this is my first time running a Decurion, and the first list that I put together was actually illegal. I'm pretty sure this one's legal, but it might not be, who knows. But anyways, it is quite interesting with the number of formations, all the special rules you're trying to recall and stuff. And eventually I plan on running a pure Genestealer Cult list, but just to fill it out right now, we got the Tyranids in there. So anyways, the Brood Cycle contains some interesting rules. The First Curse, of course, is great, and then the Decurion detachment rules, or the Insurrection detachment rules, allow some of the Genestealers to go off the board and then come back on with D6 models that they've lost. So trying to take advantage of that. But anyways, we'll see how this plays out. Looking forward to getting to know the new codex and getting to play some version of Tyranids that might be a little more competitive, which will be nice. And we're gonna go ahead and jump over to the Chaos list here and see what they got.
So this is the same list that I've been running, but I finally get to show off the guys I've put together here. So it is 3 squads of Plague Marines. Each one has a Plague Champion with a Combi Melta. They're all in their rhinos. This one has the Chaos Lord with Mark of Nurgle with him. And then I'm running 2 Knights. This one was with the Double Avenger Gatling Cannons and the Anti-Air Gun, I forget what it's called. 2 Helldrakes, and of course the second Knight. This one's actually going to be running a Thermal Cannon and the Anti-Air Guns, even though they're not on him. They're just not modeled yet. So that's it. We'll see how it goes.
So this is the table we got all set up here. We got Chaos set up. They're going to be going first, which does kind of work in favor of the Cult. We'll see if we can be rolling those 6s though. So Cult rolled for Warlord traits. It's the Patriarch, and the Patriarch got Stealth, I guess. Not great. Wanted that 6, of course. But anyways, we are playing ITC Mission 3, which is going to be Vanguard, which is what we're set up. We got Purge the Alien, as well as Hold Objective 1, which is over there. We have the primary objective, and then we have Hold Objective 2 as well. As far as the tertiary points, we have Slay the Warlord, King of the Hill, and First Strike. So we're gonna go ahead and roll for Night Fight. Do the honors.
I don't remember which is which. 2.
Okay,
no,
it's not Night. All right, so we're gonna go ahead. We're gonna get the Genestealer Cult all set up. Hopefully, they're a good 3 inches away from some of those Knights. See if we can just come on and do some rending attacks. All right. Okay, so we got it all set up. The Tyranids and the Genestealer Cult are set up. We're gonna be rolling for C's. Of course, I was rolling for the Cult on the Cult ambush table, all excited because I did get a few 6s, but then realized, I'm going second, and so there's really no point on sitting up within 3 inches of some of these guys because I might just get blown off the table. Although I did leave these guys there, so we'll just go for it. If I do C's, it'll be awesome. If not, they are dead. So most of my army is actually still in the reserve. We do have the missions there. We got Objective 3, 1 in the middle of the table, and 2 over there. So we'll be rolling for those in a second. I'm gonna go ahead and roll for, Yeah, we got some Acolyte hybrids hiding back behind the buildings, and then the Metamorph hybrids back there behind the Knight and that Rhino. Got some Warriors, and then the Neophyte hybrids in those Goliaths there. So I'm gonna go ahead and roll for C's. Watch this, I'll probably get that 6 and should have set up behind all those Knights. Nope, 3. Okay, we're safe. All right, so first turn Chaos.
Okay, we had Chaos turn 1. Everything basically just moved up. This Knight here shot this little group to death with one of his Gatling cannons, and then his other Gatling cannon, because those things are brutal, popped the other one of the Goliaths and killed 3 of the people inside. This fella here, the Knight, he moved up, took a shot at that Goliath, picked off 2 of the warriors that were behind it and put a hull point on it. So we did manage to get first strike. I'm supposed to be holding objective number 2, which I currently am, and then I'm supposed to have more units in center field than him, which is going to be a toss-up. So there we go. That's the end of Chaos, turn 1.
So Genestealer Cult went, and as you can see, there's not much on the board here. I had actually the unit of Neophytes go into the shadows. They were going to get blown off the board, and they couldn't get to an objective, really do anything, and so I thought it'd be safer to go ahead and put them back in reserves and come back on with D6 models. I went ahead and ran up the other unit just to kind of be a distraction. My objectives right now are to hold objective 1 as well as, which I am sitting on with the Goliath there, and then have a unit in his deployment zone. The reality is I don't think I could get into his deployment zone without getting shot off the table, so I do have some Acolyte hybrids right there. I actually put one of the other units that was over there into reserves again as well, so they could potentially come back on in turn 2. So I have 2 units of Acolyte hybrids and the Goliath on the board, and then I have 1 Tyrannid warrior just kind of hanging out towards the edge. They didn't do anything but really move and then go back into reserves, and so I'm seeing already that Genestealer Cult really probably wants to go first turn, and unfortunately they were not able to do that, and so this whole first turn has been kind of a wash, and he is going to get most of his next objectives as well, or he's going to secure his objectives because I have no way of negating his or really collecting mine. And it's also tough because this is Purge the Alien, so he is going to be having fun blowing off a lot of units. I have like I think 14 or so units, and I think he has maybe 11, so it's going to be pretty tough. I'm hoping turn 2 starts to turn things around. Most of my whole army is in reserve still, so it's not that bad, but I'm definitely not scoring. So we'll see how this plays out. We're going to go ahead and go to Chaos turn 2.
Okay, so Chaos turn 2. We got lucky and got one of our Heldricks to come on, put a wound on this squad here with a Vector Strike, and then took out almost that whole squad. Dude's hanging on. Well, the Knights came up. They blew up the Goliath and failed their charges to get those. I'm not even sure what the guys are called.
Those are Neophyte hybrids.
Neophytes. They couldn't get to the Neophyte hybrids.
Yeah.
So those guys are still going to be holding objective 1 there, I think. And then we could not kill the warrior in the back, put 1 wound on him. So we're still holding objective number 2. 1 is going to be a loss, and we did kill another unit. So that's where we're at.
All right, so we're at the top of Genestealer Cult turn 2, and it was better for them for sure. A lot of their units came on and then used the Cult ambush to kind of set up around the board. I rolled to hold. I needed a unit in my enemy's deployment zone as well as more units in outside of 12 inches from my deployment zone. Right now, I think he is winning over me by 1 unit. I have 8 out there. He has 9. The Hive Tyrants came on. They killed a Rhino, so I was able to take that off the board and almost killed the unit. I got 2 more Plague Marines in there. They're holding objective 2, so I'm not going to be able to pull him off of that. He needed that for his turn, so he's going to get that point. We have some Genestealers over here, some blinking Acolyte hybrids back there. And then we have the, I think it's like first curse over here with the Patriarch with his 20 Genestealers kind of looking down at that Knight. I had a little unit of Aberrants with my, it's the Acolyte HQ guy, run in, and it was a little underwhelming. They each had the hammer, which would be pretty devastating, but he got to go first and with the initiative. So was able to take out 3 of the aberrants just with one fell swoop, and the lone aberrant there was able to actually put 1 wound on the knight there.
Stomps did nothing.
And then the stomps did nothing, yeah. So there, he's locked in combat at least, so that's not bad, I guess, for the Genestealers at this point. But yeah, then I also have this unit back there. They're kind of just running around. They do have a blast cannon. Took a shot at that rhino, didn't do anything. I also had some other units that just jumped off. They were able to jump off the board, and they're over there. And so we do have some units that are going to try to come back on in the next turn and then add models to their units. So it is an interesting setup. I'm not sure quite how the Genestealers are going to pull this off, particularly with the Maelstrom and then the kill point mission that we're doing. I think it's going to be kind of tough, but it is interesting. The first turn looked real bad. It's not looking quite as bad right now, but we'll see how things go on. We're going to go to Chaos turn 3.
Okay, so this was turn 3, correct?
Yeah,
turn 3. Turn 3 for Chaos, bottom turn 3. So we did do some damage to the Genestealer unit here with the thermal cannon on the knight over there. He moved back onto objective number 2 because I got hold objective number 2 and have a unit in the enemy's backfield. So I flew my Helldrake over into the backfield. This knight managed to finish off the 2 fellows that were touching him, and now he's turned around so he could possibly overwatch. We'll see. That guy with my HQ could not roll his way out of there and is immobilized, so he's stuck there now. These 2 little fellas here backed up. Plague Marines. I don't know why I'm having such a hard time with names today. Plague Marines. This rhino moved up here. Not too special, but I did, at the moment, I'm looking to hold both of my objectives, so we'll see how it goes.
So we're at the top of Genestealer Cult turn 3, and it's an interesting game still. It's really interesting. The Genestealer Cult is kind of precarious. Like, I feel like they're always about to lose, and then they like jump off the board or come back on, and then it swings the game a bit. So we did have some, I did spawn some more aberrants. I had a unit of aberrants actually get killed by that knight, and we were trying to make that charge with the first curse or whatever. They did not make it in, obviously. I did get some Acolyte hybrids into the Rhino there. They charged it, and one hit it on a rending shot. Luckily, it was a really lucky hit. And did get into close combat here with this knight, and so they're kind of stuck with this unit of Genestealers. I was able to put 1 wound on it, and he took 2 of the Genestealers off. We still have that 1 lone Plague Marine unit floating there. Let's see, so then we have a Helldrake. Yeah, we killed the Helldrake that was on this side. That Hive Tyrant right there took him off. This unit of Neophyte hybrids came back on, and they got D6 of their models back, so they're back to a full unit. So that is kind of neat with that Insurrection formation that they can do that. It definitely helps out. So my objectives was to hold objective 1. That's not going to happen. I'm not going to be able to pull that off, but I also have 3 units in my deployment zone with none of my enemies, and I might be able to pull it off. Right now I have it, but it's kind of unlikely that I'll be able to maintain it through the next turn. But anyways, it's actually, it's for it being kill points, which is probably not the best type of mission for the Genestealer Cult. They're actually holding their own, so it is pretty interesting.
Helps they're able to avoid kill points by hopping off.
Yeah,
You don't wipe them out.
yeah, they have a lot of kill points, but if you can just jump them off the board when they get low on models and then come back on as a full unit, that's pretty cool. So we'll see how this.
Says cool.
Yeah, I say cool. The Chaos player says that is ridiculous, but we'll see how this goes down. The Knights are actually taking wounds, and that is something different than when I play Tyranids by themselves. I really usually just have to ignore these Knights, and right now I can really throw a bunch of rending attacks at them, and it's actually quite surprising that they're not more dead than they are right now. I think I've had some kind of bad rolls with some of the Genestealers.
Yeah, he should have kind of cleaned house over there.
Yeah.
Killed, like 2 guys.
It's true, yeah. It's kind of gone back. Obviously, rolls go back and forth during the game, but we'll see how this goes. We're going to be at bottom turn 4 for Chaos.
Zippity doo dah. We are rolling like bosses here, man. These Genestealers came up. They're still locked in combat. I just want to start here because it's the best. They rolled 1/6 out of all of their attacks. and then failed to get through his armor. He missed all 3 of his attacks. He rolled 1 stomp, rolled a 1 on the stomp table, so there we are. All right, otherwise, my objectives were objective 2, which I'm currently holding. That's going to disappear, and then I am going to have
6.
more units in the middle of the table. So that one, I don't know. I'm gonna worry about that when it comes up. I think I have it right now, but that's probably gonna change.
What did you score? What did you score from last time?
I scored 2 from last time.
Yeah.
So we forced these guys to go to ground. We killed a couple of them. We wiped out the 1 squad that was here, and we are gonna manage to keep them from popping back into reserve. And then we actually did a couple wounds on the Hive Tyrant. We did 1 wound on him, forced a grounding check, and he took another wound. So that was turn 4. The other Helldrake did come on, which was handy because that's going to deny him his objective of keeping me off his table edge. So, man, who knows? Who knows? It's anybody's game.
Okay, so we got the Genestealer Colt top of turn 4. And pretty productive. Put another whole point there on the Rhino. Tried to take him out with my Hive Tyrant. Wasn't able to quite get the job done. We did get the rest of the reserves on the board, and then some other ones just kind of popped off. And so that is one of the nice things about the Insurrection formation here is that we can just kind of jump off the board when we need to. So you'll see that my Warlord and Primarch, or the Patriarch, is off the table with his Genestealer unit. That'll come back on next turn, on turn 5. Over here, we did go into assault with those aberrants that we got in the psychic phase. We put 4 more hull points, I think, on this knight. So he's at 5 now. Couldn't quite get it done. He had some really bad stomps. He only killed 1 aberrant and then got a 1 with the Genestealer, so whiffed again. They're getting pretty lucky there. That Tyrant was able to put, I think, 1 hull point on the knight as well. So we're whittling these guys away. They're at 3 hull points and 5 hull points, which is, again, pretty different for the Tyranids. They usually just try to avoid the knights the whole game, and now they're actively trying to take them out. So we have the Helldrake over here in the backfield. What I'm trying to do is I need to hold objective 3 there, and I also need to have 3 units in my backfield, which I'm currently kind of doing. I think the Helldrake will probably stay back. I'm not sure if I'll be able to actually maintain that one. But anyways, we'll see how we do. We got 1 more turn, and then we'll see if it goes on. But it's been a fun game, and the Genestealer Cult definitely seems pretty competitive. And I think this is not maybe even the best mission for them as well, and they're still kind of holding their own. It's pretty close, but...
That's the first attempt at building all this one.
Yeah, it's my first attempt. I'm using every Genestealer Cult model I have. I've got more on the way, so I hope to be able to really utilize some of their other formations. But I actually do like the 2 Hive Tyrants in their list. It allows for a little bit more psychic stuff to happen, and Hive Tyrants are, they're good. So the Warriors are probably wasted points, but they do give some objectives secured to the army. But we'll see. We'll play around with it and see what we like.
Okay, to sum up this turn, I rolled for objectives 6. Was it 6 and 4?
2 and 4.
2 and 4. I'm way off.
Oh no, 2 and 6 is what you're going for next turn.
Okay. Anyway, so I only scored 1 at the start of this turn. Sorry, I'm a little scattered here. This combat over here is driving me crazy. So the Genestealers failed to put any more wounds on the hull points on the knight, and he killed 1 Genestealer. So excitement. But big things happened over here. We were able to wipe out the Warriors. We were able to wipe out the other squad of Genestealer cult guys. And not only that, but the 2 shots from the anti-air actually took out the flying Hive Tyrant. So that was huge. Helldrake dropped into hover mode, and the squad of Plague Marines just moved up, so we're denying him his objective 3, and we're looking pretty good. It was a good turn for Chaos.
So anyways, top of the Genestealer Cult turn 5, and we had pretty kind of pitiful coming back on here for the Patriarch and his Genestealers. He got 1 Genestealer back into his unit.
Everybody came in on the side.
Yeah, they had to come in on the side, so wasn't able to get into combat. And then most everything died here, which is kind of a bummer because I thought I was going to be able to hold 3, but he has, I guess, just flamers that cut through everything. And so picked up those units, so I'm missing that. Wasn't able to get any of my objectives. Right now I need to hold objective 2 and then have more in the outside of my deployment zone than he has outside of his. I think that one's close right now. I might have that one actually, but we'll see if we go to the next turn. So this is the top of turn 5. Right now he has King of the Hill, he's got the Maelstrom, he's got kill points by far. I was able to kill that knight there and take him out. Yeah, so why don't you go ahead and roll, and what is it, 4 up, or what is it? I think it's...
I don't know. Yeah, you're
Go
right.
ahead and roll. I think it's 4 up, and we'll keep going there. Okay, 6. So we keep going. We're going to go to turn 6. We'll see what we can do.
Okay, so this is Chaos turn 6. We moved up. We took out the squad of hybrids that were there with the flamer on the Helldrake. This squad just ran just to get out in the middle. The squad moved out, and between him and the firepower from the Knight, they finished off the Aberrants and the Genestealers that were here. Fired at the Hive Tyrant, did not do anything to him, but pretty good spot for turn 6, depending on where the Genestealers pop up on me. But we're looking pretty good.
So we're at the end of Genestealer Cult turn 6, and it's been an interesting turns. Did we do turn 6 on yours? I can't remember. Anyways, it's been a long game. So we have the Patriarch over there. The unit that was next to him that I had spawned actually jumped off the board because there was really no point for them to foot slog all the way over. They were just a kill point on the board. That Tyrant came in, took out 1 Plague Marine. They're just really hard to kill. Then I had a unit that I spawned in actually with the Patriarch. They got a 6 on the Cult Ambush, so we're able to charge and use some mining tools to take out that last Knight there. So that was pretty cool.
The Knight did stomp him out on
the
his way out.
Knight did stomp, yeah, stomp them out on his swing. But anyways, right now it looks like the Chaos is gonna take this game. It was a really close game for a little bit, but then
Crazy.
yeah, it was pretty close. I think this is a really bad mission for the Genestealer Cult. I mean, the kill points wasn't even close. I had totally lost those, and even holding down the objectives. That was closer, but it kind of went away from me just because of, well, some of the ones that I drew were not really good for me.
To see if we go on to turn 7.
Yeah, I think at this point we'll go ahead and stop it. There's really nothing else I can even bring on to compete, and I don't think I could get enough Maelstrom or kill points. I guess I could try to table him. That's pretty close, but he really only has, I guess, the 3 units left with his Warlord. My Warlord's still on the board. He's going to get King of the Hill, but pretty close. Actually, we might even be kind of tied with King of the Hill. It's pretty close there. Yeah, so it was a really good game. I do like the Genestealer Cult. I think as I learn how to play them better, I think they will be a bit more competitive than just running the Tyranids alone. So we'll probably try to get another game in here.
Honestly, they feel bananas. Like, but it definitely takes a little bit of finesse to get. Because you want those 6s so that they can charge and stuff.
Right.
And if you had first turn, that would have been huge.
Yeah, that was the big thing. Yeah, the first turn, I totally just spaced and was kind of setting up like it was my first turn, but it wasn't. So that was not a good move on my part. I needed to reserve more. And I really wish I could do the Subterranean Assault. Just the models that I have, it would not allow for that using the Insurrection formation, the Decurion or whatever. Of course, the Subterranean Assault formation allows you to roll 2 and then 3 dice for the Cult Ambush table, so you're more likely to get those 6s and do those turn 1 charges. But yeah, and if we weren't playing kill points, that's another big one. I can be a little bit more aggressive with spawning units and just letting them kind of feed in and getting killed.
Oh man, I was really impressed with them. I think just about everything didn't really go their way, and they still didn't have a problem really holding their own.
Right, yeah, it could have been a close game. It definitely fell away though. I mean, the score doesn't look as close as I think it felt maybe at the points, but
the table looks like it.
Yeah. Anyways, hopefully the Tyranids, they'll win a game here one day. So, all right, maybe it's just me. All right, let's get another game in.